Hello everyone and welcome to this week's weekly wear where I am testing out a new, well, it's an oldie but a goodie. Apparently, I mean, people used to love this foundation, but it has become reformulated. So, it's a newie. Will it still be a goodie? That is the question. We have the new L'Oreal True Match Super-Blendable Foundation here. Ba-ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Here it is. It is $13.99 and you get 1.0 fluid ounce of product. There are 47 different shades available. Why? Couldn't you have made it 50? At 47, that's just so strange to me. Even 48 or something. 47 shades though. Yes, do. I know. It's weird, it's wild, it's crazy. But there you go. There's the shade range. When you hear 47, I feel like it sounds really expansive, but looking at the arm swatches, I don't think it looks very expansive. I mean, there's quite a lot to choose from if you have light to medium skin coloring, but if you have deep, I don't know. I can't comment on the pale. I can't tell if these are pale or light shades, but definitely deep. You don't have a lot to choose from. It doesn't look like, to me anyways. So here are the arm swatches. You know, do with those what you will, but I thought it would look a lot better when I saw the arm swatches compared to how it actually looks to me. But yeah, they just say that this is the new vegan formula with an easy to use pump. Yay! Same hydrating formula, same natural looking results, blendable, and also lightweight. It apparently adapts to any skin color and texture. It locks in moisture and is suitable for all skin types, including sensitive skin. And to use, it looks easy peasy. You just shake it, apply to the face, and then using, well, they specifically say a damp makeup sponge, but yeah, just blend it out like usual. But yeah, you guys know me. I'm gonna test it with a brush and a sponge just to see the different application methods we might be able to get. And as usual, here's my skin. It's looking like skin. I've got the usual smattering of pimples and blemishes, kind of the main reason I'm wanting to wear foundation today, so I don't absent-mindedly keep picking at this guy. But yeah, I got the shade N2 neutral light, so hopefully that'll be a good shade match for me. I am sure I have tested out the True Match foundation in the past. I feel like I remember thinking it was pretty okay, but I do also feel like I remember hating the fact that it didn't come with a pump. So yay for this having a pump. My skin has been washed and moisturized, and I am going to try this today with no primer per usual. And oh, okay, it is ready to go. It is super liquidy, as you can see. It doesn't even smell like foundation. It smells like nothing, but let's go ahead and take a peek-see, see what kind of coverage we can get with this. Starting off with a brush. So, kind of wish I remembered how I felt about the old. I'll have to go back and see if I have a review that I can look at so that I can see how I felt. Okay, this is looking much paler on the skin than it did in the bottle. I don't appreciate that, but it is blending okay. It looks like it is super thin. Like, this is ultra liquidy thin, so that's interesting. A little different than the normal kind of foundation I use, but it still looks like it's giving decent coverage considering how thin it is. That is very interesting to see. Overall, you can definitely see a difference from side to side, yeah. I do think it looks a little dry on the skin. Definitely doesn't look hydrating, even though they boast a lot about how hydrating this is supposed to be. It doesn't feel hydrating either. It doesn't look great in my nose pores. So hey, maybe this is why they didn't say you could use a brush. You know, like I said, I am here to try these things so that we can find out. So now, let's go ahead and try this with a sponge on this side, like they suggested, and see if we get better results. pretty much immediately, I can already tell you, this looks way better with a sponge. It is shearing it out a bit, but that being said, it doesn't look as dry on the skin, and it looks like it's blending a bit better. So this is good. It must need that extra water, that extra moisture when you apply it, because that actually looks quite nice on the skin. Nice and light and fresh. So let's see, I don't remember them saying anything about this being layerable, but kidding, I just looked at the how to use, and step number 3 says you can add more foundation as desired. So let's go ahead and see if we can even things out from side to side here using just the sponge. See if this can make the left side of my face look a little more natural and blended and less dry. And on this side, let's see if we can build the coverage just a little bit in some areas. It looks like it is doing so nicely. Nice and easy. And there you have it. I do think the sponge helped to blend on my nose better on the brush side. So yeah, brush, no thank you. That was not great, but sponge did wonderfully. So do you guys agree? Doesn't it look so much paler on my face than in the bottle? That is so strange when foundation does that. But here it is. Here is my face. Like I said, I think the sponge certainly helped. You can still see blemishes peeking through on my skin, through the foundation, you know, a little bit of redness from the blemishes and whatnot, but overall I do think I was able to get good, like a good medium, light medium coverage from this, and overall I think it looks fine. Like I said, it does look a little dry on the skin, even on the sponge side. Not a ton, but a little dry on the skin, so hopefully throughout the day with my oils and whatnot coming through, that will improve the look of the foundation, at least to me. But right now it at least feels lightweight and it looks fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup, and then I will go about my day, and then I will see you all at the end of the night. I can show you the results. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. It's the end of the night here, and I have the results of my face for you all. I am also excited to see how my face looks, so let's take a look together, shall we? It looks like everything hung in well, and I think actually, honestly, it looks really good. I'm quite surprised. Just because I guess I wasn't really expecting anything from this foundation, good or bad. So to see it look this good at the end of the night, I mean, it's a little shiny on my nose and forehead, but overall it's mostly matte, but like not grotesquely cakey so. It just looks soft and nice. I don't know, I mean, a little bit definitely came off on my nostrils, but other than that, wow, L'Oreal, wow, okay. So this has me very excited to test it out for another couple of days, see with concealer and primer if that helps, or you know, what have you. Maybe I'm just gonna fall in love with this foundation. Time will tell, and I will bring you those results in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. It's the end of the night here on day 3 of testing this foundation, and I have got results for you all. So let me tell you about dates 2 and 3. On day 2, I went ahead and I used my Smashbox primer for a hydrating base, as well as my Hourglass concealer and a sponge only to apply, since I established brush was not good on day 1. So just a sponge this time once again, and everything looked great once again. You know, sponge is definitely the way to go. It looked light and fresh on the skin, but also definitely quite matte, and in which case it doesn't look super natural. But at the same time, you know, it's a little give, it's a little take. You get what I'm saying? The hydrating primer definitely helped though, and all day it did feel light on the skin up until the end of the night, where I got sweaty kind of out of nowhere, and then it felt like it was gonna wipe off if I were to touch my face. There wasn't much transfer earlier in the day though, that's for darn sure, anytime I touched my face, and at the end of the night I thought it looked looked great. There was normal fading, even less than normal maybe. A little dry looking around the chin overall, but overall I thought it definitely wore very nicely, and it did not have much shine to it at all at the end of the night, except for sweatiness. It did wipe off quite a bit on my fingers though, so that whole feeling like it was gonna wipe off and transfer off apparently was quite true, so I'm glad I didn't touch my face too much at the end of the night there. Bummer. But either way, today I went against what I should have gone with. You know, I think I established definitely needs hydration under this. Well, I went with a more mattifying base today, my Skin Ink primer, and then my Too Faced full cover concealer just for my larger blemishes, and I was able, you know, to smear that around and use less of the foundation that way. And overall, once again, I thought it looked nice and light on the skin, definitely on the matte and dry side of things, but knowing that it tends to, or so far has been working well with my oils, I wasn't too worried about that. And throughout the day it has felt great. It has not felt like it was going to transfer at all. It feels very secure on the skin, and at the end of the night here, I do think it looks pretty good. It has definitely come off around my mouth, on my chin, and a bit on my nose, you know, on my nostrils, and just on the center where I've got that blemish. Definitely looks like it has come off a bit, but the fade seems to be really quite nice and graceful, so I don't feel like I can be mad at it for that. I'm actually quite pleased, and I think I can mostly see where the hype for this foundation comes from. I mean, like I said, I don't quite remember if I loved it the first time around. I'm gonna assume not, since I don't have a bottle of it anymore, but I don't remember hating it either way. Is the formula much different, this vegan one? I can't say for sure. I test out too many foundations. However, you were able to see how it wore. I can give you pros and cons here real quick as well. For a pro, definitely this is easy to apply and is blendable on the skin, especially now that it has the pump. It also is able to be layered, so if you want to layer your coverage, or if you want to sheer this out or build it up, you know, you can get your desired amount of coverage with this to an extent. You know, I don't think it's ever going to be full coverage, but either way, it also is lightweight and secure on the skin throughout the day, or at least it has that feeling for the most part, and it has a graceful fade to it from what I have been able to see, and even more than that, I think it has to do with the oils of my skin, so this might not be for everybody, but I do think it ends up looking better at the end of the night, and just with wear. I think my oils really mesh well with this foundation and take it from looking on the dry and matte side just to looking normal and skin-like. So I think those are all of my pros, and for the cons, it's mainly just about it being too matte. Maybe in the beginning, I could definitely see it being a problem for people with drier skin, and even just for people like me who have oily skin. I think you just have to make sure that you've really prepped well and hydrated your skin well, and just know that throughout the day it will get better, but initially it does look almost too matte and dry, at least for my taste, and just with that, it doesn't look natural at first, you know, I don't think, because of that dry matteness. Like I said, it doesn't look bad, I don't think. It has that look to it in certain areas, so just something to be mindful of. But I personally can see why people love this foundation. I don't know that I can say that it's going to be one of my favorites, but I certainly am curious to try this mixed with other foundations, and I am certainly curious to try it out in the summertime when I am sweatier and oilier and all of that, see if that helps it not look so matte and dry even upon first application, you know, when my skin is just a bit plumper and more hydrated. You know, I do my best with skincare and whatnot, but I'm not perfect. So either way, I think I get the hype. I'm happy to have tested this foundation. I hope it was helpful for you guys to see it in action on my skin. Certainly let me know in the comments down below if you have tried out this new version. Especially let me know if you've tried out the old version of this foundation and how it compares and differs and all of that stuff. I'd love to hear from you. What kind of skin do you have? All that good stuff. You can also let me know any other foundations you want to see me test here in future weekly wears. And also you can just let me know if you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, whatever the case may be, by giving me a thumbs up. down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can typically tap that notification bell down below and become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!